You're listening to Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk. Each week, your host, Polly Requa, interviews veterinarians and individuals in the pet industry from across the nation answering pet questions. Bark and Wag podcast is produced weekly for your enjoyment, and show notes can be found at barkandwag.com under the podcast tab. That's barknwag.com. Please remember to subscribe to Bark and Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk. Thank you for listening to Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk. If you like what you just heard, we hope you'll pass along our web address, www.barkandwag.com, to your friends and other pet owners. Have a pressing question for a veterinarian? Ask your question at barkandwag.com under the podcast tab. This has been a KFR production. Join us next time for another edition of Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk.
Thank you for listening to Bark and Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk. Bark and Wag is dedicated to protecting our dogs through advocacy, education, and supporting like-minded dog lovers by selling custom pet products. Bark and Wag is excited to announce our new partnership with a Colorado hemp farm to produce a line of CBD products for your pets. Bark and Wag has CBD pet tincture available in 300, 750, 1200, and 2400 milligrams. Bark and Wag CBD is pet safe, no THC, it's made in the USA, and is CO2 extracted. Please check out Bark and Wag's website, barkandwag.com. That is BARK, to see our line of CBD and awesome merchandise. We love pooch ideas for podcasts and merchandise, so anytime send an email to Polly at barkandwag.com with your suggestions.
Welcome to Bark and Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk. I'm your host, Polly Requa. Today we're talking to Christy, owner of Cosmo's Dog Bakery. Welcome, Christy.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on the podcast. So I wanted to have you on to tell us a little bit about the history of Cosmo's.
Right. So Cosmo started in Denver in 1995 by a lady that had a cat named Cosmo. Cosmo was annoyed with the dogs in his life, so Cosmo asked the owner to make some dog biscuits to distract the dogs. So she started the bakery in Denver. Since then, there have been 4 women owners of the business. I'm the 4th. So we've grown from a Dog Biscuit Bakery to Dog Biscuit Bakery and full retail store for dog and cat supplies.
Oh, how wonderful. So tell us, because when you walk into a dog bakery, there's just so many cookies and treats. What type of cookies and treats do you sell?
So we make dog biscuits that contain ingredients that you could find in your everyday kitchen. You're not going to see any ingredients on there that you don't understand, which we really pride ourselves on. And we also don't put any preservatives in our biscuits. We bake them at a low temperature for a long time to bake all the moisture out. And that gives us a year shelf life on all of our biscuits. So we're able to put wholesome ingredients in there. They're all going to be healthy. A lot of the recipes are still from the original bakery. We've just kind of changed them here and there to make them a little bit more healthy, even though they were healthy to begin with. So we pride ourselves on natural ingredients for our biscuits. And then we also make dog cakes and pup cakes and lots of different things for birthdays, which is super fun. And you're going to find the same thing with our cakes and all those other items, limited ingredients that you can read and understand, so you can feel good about feeding all of this stuff to your dog.
So the cakes are adorable. When you're doing a cake for a dog, is there a special frosting that you use?
The frosting is made out of just cream cheese and honey, and we use natural food colorings. So it just allows us to be creative. The nice thing is, and the fun thing is, in the last couple of years, we've really expanded the dog birthday cakes into allowing people to choose different themes for their birthday cakes. So the ideas that are coming from our amazing customers are so much fun. I don't even think I would be able to come up with some of these ideas, but the ladies that work in the bakery and do the decorating they're incredibly creative. They have so much fun doing it, which I think comes through in their work. And so, yeah, it's just a really, really fun part of the business.
So what are some of the ideas or some of the cakes that they've had to produce?
Sure. We most recently had a Lord of the Rings cake. The dog's name is Gimli. We've had a couple Star Wars cakes in the last week. We do a lot of mountain themed cakes, lots of tennis ball themed cakes, squirrels. That's a kind of like river cake. So a lot of outdoor stuff, really. But then we'll have ideas that come from like TV shows. So I don't really have an example
Stranger
right now.
Things.
Stranger Things. We did a Stranger Things recently. So it's really all over the place. It's funny, most customers will call and they'll ask what they can do. And at least for now, we're able to say the sky's the limit. And like I said, the decorators in the bakery have been able to do a really good job with every single idea. So super fun. And hopefully we'll never get to the point where we get a themed cake that we can't do. I don't think that there's anything that they can't do.
You might start getting brides and grooms coming to your bakery.
That's very true. Actually, on that, we have done wedding cakes for weddings, which I think is so cute when people want to be able to share their wedding with the dog. Another thing that we do is gender reveal cakes. So those are really fun. We actually will get the gender like in an envelope or something where the parents won't even know what the gender is. And so we're able to kind of create that in the middle of the cake, pink or blue. And so while the dog is starting to eat the cake, the dog is able to kind of reveal the gender. So those are really fun too.
Funny. That's funny. Well, super creative. And if your dog is allergic, do you have certain ingredients that for those dogs that need a special biscuit or cookie?
Yes. So we have 16 different recipes. Just a few of them actually have bone broth in them. We have everything from, pork bone broth and cheese and milk and stuff in our breakfast biscuits, all the way to our wheatless hearts, which is one of the original recipes, and it has 3 ingredients in it. So we actually haven't found a dog yet that's allergic to these little simple ingredients. So we've got lots of different options, and we're always able to help a customer in that way. We have wheat-free biscuits as well. So if anybody that's worried about wheat, we can help with that.
And so tell the listeners that are not in Denver the other products that you do sell, and if you have any events for the Denver listeners going on that people can stop by and see you either at a festival or at your store.
Sure. So for people that don't live in Denver or people that do, we do ship all of our biscuits on our website. That's cosmosdogbakery.com. We currently don't ship anything that's decorated or frosted just because those things need to be kept cold. So currently we only ship our biscuits, but we do that nationwide. For the people that do live in the area, we ask for 48 hours notice for our personalized cakes. Otherwise, we have a slew of things that people can get for their birthdays. We do have a couple of events coming up. Actually, this Saturday is kind of a double event day that we're really excited about. We're having an adoption event with Front Range German Shepherd Rescue. They are great. We've worked with them before. They've got some German Shepherd puppies. They don't do on-site adoptions, but it's kind of like a meet and greet, and then you kind of follow the next steps with them. And then we're also doing a free Mother's Day photo shoot from one of our customers. So she's going to be set up outside of our store with a nice backdrop, and any pet parents, any pet families can come by and have their photo taken with their dog for free and be able to get those pictures. So that should be super fun.
Oh, how nice. And just let everyone know your address and website again on how to get a hold of you.
Sure. Our address is 10111 West 26th Avenue, and we're in Wheat Ridge. That's 80215. We're actually in the old Gold's Grocery Shopping Center for anybody that has been around for a while. And then our website is www.cosmosdogbakery.com. You can also call us at any time. Our phone number is 303-232-1477.
Great. Well, thank you for being on the podcast, and I'll put all the information in the show notes, and we look forward to having you back.
That sounds great. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk. If you like what you just heard, we hope you'll pass along our web address, www.barkandwag.com, to your friends and other pet owners. Have a pressing question for a veterinarian? Ask your question at barkandwag.com under the podcast tab. This has been a KFR production. Join us next time for another edition of Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk.